Peña Blanca is a small village north of Albuquerque, about halfway to Santa Fe. Peña Blanca's population is around 700, mostly Hispanic. Once you leave the interstate, you begin to drop into the valley. This is where I went to visit my friend, Virginia, for our La Resolana. The new church was built in the 80s before the old church fell. The church plays a huge role in the small community's life. This is the old church. They actually were able to save the bells from the old church and place them in the bell tower of the new church. It reminds you of the old church when you look at it. The white cross on the hillside beside the road designates where the Morada is located here in Peña Blanca. The Morada is where the Penitent Brotherhood, Los Hermanos, gather for prayers and to celebrate sacraments. They are the leaders of the community. In the early 1800s, after secularization, Los Hermanos were completely separated from the church, and thus the Morada was established. The Penitentes are still very active in the village. In many communities, Los Hermanos have gone underground due to much misunderstanding. The women's role is to clean the Morada for the Los Hermanos. The water that flows into the acequias comes from the Cochiti Lake, which is just north of the village. The earthen dam was constructed in 1965 to control the water flow through the valley. The irrigation ditches are known to us as acequias. Prior to their construction of the Cochiti Lake Dam, the acequias were dirt versus concrete lined, as you can see they are today. The acequias wound through the village to give life to the fields. Every spring, the mayordomo would assign the pacientes, or the participants, a section of the acequias to clean. This is a long, arduous task. It must be done before the water is released, for otherwise the acequias would clog up and overflow. The farmers irrigate their fields by flooding them with the water from the acequias. They open a gate on the acequia to let the water flow into their field. As soon as the water has covered the field, the farmer has to go back to close the gate. It is a slow process because you have to monitor the flow of the water so it does not wash away the seeds or damage the crop. In some areas, you have to have water at an assigned time and for an assigned length of time as well. Here in New Mexico, sometimes we do run out of water before the growing season is done. The acequias were not as deep as they are now when Virginia was small. The children would play in the acequias during the summer to cool off. These are the hills the children played in the summertime when they weren't playing in the acequias. They would pack peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and go for a hike. As you can see, the highland is very dry and mostly barren, as this is the riparian desert. This is the environment that the rattlesnakes thrive in, so the children had to be very careful. All the old homes are made of adobe and have tin roofs. Adobe is the Spanish word for mud brick. It is cheap, but you have to ensure you have the right ratio of sand to clay. The adobes are made from straw and mud, shaped into bricks using a form, and then they are dried in the shade. They have to be turned on their side after the initial setting. The slow drying process in the shade reduces cracking of the brick. Adobe structures are extremely durable and account for some of the oldest existing buildings in the world. In front of this house on the old iron gate, they have hung some of the old implements that they used for the cleaning of the ditches, limpia las acequias. You can see how thick the walls are by looking at the door frame of this one. Virginia has many wonderful memories about her childhood, especially her grandparents. She had respect for her elders. She told me the story of her elder asking for a glass of water, which she promptly got, waited for them to finish, and she returned the glass to the kitchen. This is her mother, Romy, who would read to her at bedtime and say rhymes like, Sana, sana, colita de rana. This is Virginia's home today, which her husband built for their retirement in Peña Blanca. Acequias carry this precious gift of water to give life to our fields and to support life. All kinds of wildlife come to the acequias for water in this dry land we live. This acequia is where I get away from the crazy bustle of life today. Until next time, adios, mi amiga.